It is my sad news to report that the fascist judge in Kansas has ruled against trans people. I will read the article in just a second, but I just want to reiterate that your IDs in Kansas, if you are a trans woman or a trans man or anybody that falls within the trans umbrella living within the state of Kansas, do not surrender your IDs. It is a form of resistance. Continue to drive with it. Continue to resist them taking your documents by any and all means necessary. And I think by now people know what I mean by that. To anybody that can, I encourage you to start finding ways of getting yourself out of the state of Kansas. And anybody in surrounding states, I encourage you to start helping trans Kansans get out of the state. This, of course, I would also extend to Missouri and Iowa and a lot of other states. It would be preferable for people to start helping in any way they can, especially if they have a vehicle, to start getting trans people out of these fascist states into sanctuary states and or cities. Now, according to the article, which is from KCUR in Kansas, the district court judge in Douglas County ruled that the Kansas law restricting bathroom use and ID changes for trans people is going to remain in effect. This means that transgender people must use bathrooms in public spaces that aligned with their assigned gender at birth. Driver's licenses and birth certificates that have the gender marked changed are now considered invalid. On Friday, the hearing came on Friday after two transgender Kansans who used pseudonyms sued to challenge a recently enacted state law. Their attorneys raised concerns that the law could result in altercations and invasions of privacy amongst, a myriad of other issues, such as the ability to, get a job, go to the doctor, get alcohol. And if transgender people have to show IDs or use restrooms that don't match their gender identity. They have requested the law be put on hold. But Judge James Macabre said that he doesn't believe most Kansans would act that way towards transgender people. Bullshit. It's very obvious that a lot of employers and business owners are going to use this to discriminate against trans people. And even if not them, there's always fucking Karens and, Kevins out there that are going to still discriminate against trans people. Law enforcement are going to use this as a power trip to detain trans people and to steal their documents. They don't want trans people to exist. They want to make it so that we can't even cope. They want to make sure we can't escape. The judge also rejected the suggestion that having IDs that don't match the gender identity would result in trans people losing their jobs. Again, bullshit. The law sparked confusion as many transgender Kansans now find that their state-issued driver's license and birth certificates are now invalid. Attorney General Chris Kobach of the Republican Party defended the law, saying in court that his office would wait until March 26 to send a list of invalid IDs to law enforcement. In other words, they already have a list of trans people that they are sending to cops and most likely to the feds. Make no mistake, These lists go far beyond local and state law enforcement. This is how they start stealing people's documents so that they have a reason to indefinitely detain, so to speak, trans people. This is how they start rounding us up into camps. Make no mistake. Supporters of the policy say it helps law enforcement and first responders to know a person's gender at birth. Who gives a shit how they were at birth? What about how they are now? That's what matters. So, yeah, I will leave this article for anybody who wishes to read it. But I must reiterate the seriousness of what has now transpired. And I do hope that the individuals involved and the ACLU, they file an appeal. And I do hope this gets overturned. But ultimately, my worry is that this is going to end up, if it does go that way, and even if it does get overturned, my worry is it's going to go to the Supreme Court, as a lot of potential anti-trans legislation could wind up. And forgive my pessimism, but I don't really have a whole lot of hope that a 6-3 conservative court is going to be all that favorable to the trans community, especially under the current administration. So I reiterate, if you are a trans Kansan, keep your ID and hold on to it by any and all means necessary. Wink, wink. Do not let them take away your ID or your documents under no pretext. They can pry your ID and your documents from our cold, dead hands. Continue to use them. Continue to defy them. Continue to drive with them. But also try to get out of the state if you can. If you are trans or cis, doesn't really matter. If you have the ability to rescue these people from this state and from Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Texas, because there are states that are trying to do exactly what Kansas are doing. If you can, start doing what you can to get these people out of the state, either by monetary help or by providing your own vehicle for transportation to get them out of the state. Because at this point, that is resistance. That is where we find ourselves at now. We must start fighting back against this fascist cabal of people who are intent on making trans lives non-existent. Continue to resist. Do not let them take your documents. I'm Red Pagan Nicole for the Red Pagan Network, signing off. Until next time. Thank you for watching. If you like news and politics from a leftist perspective, true crime, or informational videos on leftist philosophy and pagan belief practices, and would like to support the channel, please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. Even a few bucks really helps me out. All links are provided in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share on various social media. Hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. I put out content regularly, so you will always get quite a bang for your buck.